Welcome everyone. Today we're going to go through this month's Uncollected event quest, Map 3 Recess. We will be using the Hela strategy to take out the Chaos path. This is going to be super easy to do as long as you have an unlocked Hela. I would recommend a 4-star. This is a low level 4-star, not even leveled up. To look through the other nodes that you could do are Aspect of War, basically decrease your block proficiency and eventually they become unblockable, which means you're going to have to be very careful with your dodges, very difficult path. Pessimist, they get armor up and health steal when they're above 75%. Optimist, they get it when they're below 25%. And the path we're taking, which is Chaos, this basically every 10 seconds you're going to switch health bars with your opponent, and then that's going to switch back after 4 seconds. So what you're going to do here is you're going to use Hela. You can also use Punisher, but Hela is better because she always becomes indestructible when she's at low health. Basically, when she goes to 0, she'll last for 3 seconds. Set a timer, time it for 10 seconds. You basically can take 1 hit or 2 combos depending on how strong her Hela is. Get that last hit in as soon as that timer gets close to 10 seconds. Make sure that you're around 8 to 9 seconds, because then what's going to happen is you will immediately trigger your indestructibility. Then at the end of that combo that you're currently in, you'll become indestructible so you can hit them. And then you'll hit them as soon as they switch back, and you will basically be at the lowest amount of life possible. I tried this with a 2-star, it's just too weak. I would say you either need like a maxed out 3-star or at least a 4-star. So again, it doesn't matter how high level they are if they're a 4-star, you just need them to be unlocked. You're going to take that hit right when you're about to switch over, so I would really have a timer out. So get your phone, set it up, press start as soon as the fight starts, know when that 10-second timer is going to happen, and this is going to be a cakewalk. All you're going to do is literally get hit 1 time, try to get down to a very, very low level, and then you're going to get hit right before it switches, so that way you're still indestructible when you're at 1%. Killmonger's a little tricky here because he does bleed, so you have to be very careful. Hopefully you can take 1 combo, maybe not. You can always restart if this goes wrong. It's not that much energy. But if you're trying to go through Uncollected for the first time, or you just want to do this as an easy route, this is really helpful. The problem is you just completely avoid having the possibility of being switched inappropriately and giving them back 100% and then just burning your people on it. Now, with Mephisto, I'd be very careful with the strategy because he does regenerate below his health threshold because of the souls. So instead, I would just use a heal blocker. You don't have to. You can do this as an attrition fight. This is the only one that's probably more difficult in terms of the pathway. I'm using Vision here. You could use any heal blocker. You could use Iceman. Just remember that he will regenerate, which can throw a wrench into that whole system. I just didn't want to have to deal with that, especially with the Incineration and low-level Hela. So I just chose to use Vision. Again, basically, if you're not using the Hela strategy, you're basically just going to take some combos off the top if you want to. Now, if you're using Vision strategy, which is interesting, is you can take a lot of damage on your shields. Then you let the life switch back. And then as soon as the life switches back, then you're going to use your second super or first super to heal block them. So right now, he's heal blocked. When life switches back, he can't regenerate the health, basically locking him below. So that's one strategy you can use with Vision if you're using the Chaos Aspect pathway. Basically, just heal block them, you just lock down the life at whatever life you were at and they were at because they can't regenerate anymore. So basically just finish him off. Now you're basically at 1%. You could now use Vision on the next fight if you want to. Either one is fine. I do like the Hela strategy. I think it is very, very humorous just because you're really having the most benefit of this very detrimental aspect of Chaos. So again, any Hela would work. I would not recommend a 2-star just because I don't think the damage output's high enough. I tried it, basically the 1% quote-unquote doesn't quite work because she's so low level. But anyways, just get the damage in through a normal like 4-star or maxed out 3-star, and then again, as soon as it switches back, you're just going to hit them 1 time and they're going to die. So honestly, this pathway you can do at any point in time as long as you have a Hela. You also can use Punisher. The problem with Punisher is it's not guaranteed that this will happen. There are other champions that you could do as well. You don't have to do this. You could also just take the hits directly on even your normal champions. And basically what you would do is you would start the fight with any 4-star, your highest 4-stars. You would let them just combo you until you're really, really low. So you kind of have to have a feeling for how much damage they can do. Try to get down to like 10 to 15%. Save up your super. And then start attacking them as soon as you think that that timer is going to switch over. And again, I would recommend having a timer for Aspect of Chaos, just so you know where you are in terms of the switching back and forth. Again, remember it's 10 seconds, then it switches, then 4 seconds, then it switches back, and then it will switch back again after the next 10-second cycle. So the boss for this one is going to be the Hood. He's not particularly difficult. Special attack 2 bias. His big thing here is the mesmerize. So every 7% chance of evade off any of his attacks, and then he'll be stunned afterwards. Because of that, you're going to want to use someone that's stun resistant, if at all possible. If not, you just got through the quest basically with all your health, so you can use your other champions besides Hela to basically just deal damage, and you might get stun locked on some of them and then just get massive damage against you. And that's okay, you can definitely do that, kind of a war of attrition. But if you have Iceman, then you can attack just completely normally, and as long as you have ice armor on, if he mesmerizes you, it doesn't matter because you're stun resistant. And so you'll see this throughout this fight here, but basically you just attack like normal, and right there, he evaded me, I got mesmerized, but because Iceman can't be stunned, when I have ice armor on, it just breaks the ice armor. Then you just have to be very, very careful that you don't attack and get mesmerized again before you get ice armor back. So just make sure that you wait until the ice armor actually triggers back up. You can save your third super to basically regenerate it earlier. Either one's fine, but you're really just going to bait the first super. So bait the first super, make sure you have ice armor on, and this is really not that difficult of a fight. If you don't have Iceman, this is still a completely doable fight. So what you're going to do, first off, have Limber, because Limber is going to reduce your stun duration. So make sure you have the Limber Mastery. Once you have the Limber Mastery, your stun duration will be very, very short. It's basically going to reduce that one a second. So if you do get mesmerized, you have a very good chance of being able to immediately block and guard yourself. So if you get mesmerized, just immediately block, or try to dash backwards. Then all you're going to do is the normal Hood fight, which is basically just going to be attacking him and then baiting the first super. You don't want the second super because then he gets invisibility, as well as it's not really a dodgeable super. I mean, you can do it, but it's very difficult in terms of like the gunshots. So I would recommend just baiting that first super. You're just going to do the attack, and then you're just going to back up, and hopefully he'll use it when you're at a little bit of range. Just make sure you're back far enough away that you don't get hit, because it does have some range to it. And then wait until it's all done in terms of the electric shocks. Otherwise, you could run into it by accident. It's very damaging, especially with the 21,000 you're using 4 stars. So I hope this video was helpful. This is kind of part of the series where we're trying to do only 4 stars. You can definitely do this pathway. The other paths are definitely doable for 4 stars as well, but if you're looking for a little bit easier one that's a little more fun, the aspect of Chaos path is quite enjoyable, especially if you have a Hela. It's a fun one to try out. Again, if something goes wrong during it, just back out and then go back through it. You should be able to get through it fairly easily in terms of how much health you should have at the end. You just have to get down with that timing. Overall, that's basically it for this path. I hope this video was helpful. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment down below if you have any tips, strategies, or questions. Have a great rest of the day.